All right, hope everyone's doing well today. I got a video taking a look at agents in the CS2 investing world. I'm going to give my thoughts on them, some of the investing outlooks that I have, and go from there and basically break down some of the agents one by one and give my thoughts. So yeah, the agent market in CS2 has been one of the more interesting investment opportunities that we've seen in the game. Like many of the Valve updates that initially came out, people didn't really like the agent scene. The price reflected that at first, but in the last couple of years, we've seen some serious gains on these agents or the operators. I personally don't love or hate the agents. There's some that I like. What I really did like was back in the day when CSGO had certain agents on each team. You had like the Separatist on, what was it, Inferno in Italy, I believe. I don't know if it's just me, but I like to see those agent models and then being able to instantly recognize them from a particular map. But either way, Valve needs their money, so there's a bunch of agents for us to buy and go through. Some that are good, some that are not so good. And the main idea is to look at them as investments and find some agents that are low-key, well-priced, and could do well in the future. And it's worth mentioning that the volume in the agent market is very solid. We have lots of sales per day despite there not being a ton of quantities out there in comparison to other assets in the game. And the biggest thing I think with the agents is they're unobtainable, just like certain cases. You can't just play through the game and obtain these anymore. There's no more operations that currently release or can redeem these. So we have limited supply, and this obviously presents a very good investment opportunity going forward. So I think agents will continue to do strong going forward as investments. I think that a lot of these agents haven't beat down on their prices, and if you look at October, that was a big pump month for a lot of these agents all across the board. So I think that we may see a rebound in the near future, and there may even be rumors of new agents coming out, so that's something we also have to think about. And now the biggest prediction I can make is if Valve does go ahead and releases new agents, I do think we'll see an immediate pullback in the agent price market. You're going to see a lot of people exiting the investments they already have on certain agents and start moving that money into, the new agents or whatever new operation or new armory rollout, whatever they plan on doing. The new batch of agents, that's where the money typically will go and flow. So if you're going to make the investment, that's something you really got to think about. You don't want to get caught in a trap, especially if you're buying multiple of these. So will we see more agents? I do believe that the armory does offer a chance of there being new agents in the future. I do think the armory has all those little slots, and I could see an armory slot for agents where you could redeem maybe 25 or 20 stars, kind of like a limited, or 50 stars, something like that, and people can basically play into the game with the armory pass and use their stars towards an agent. Of course, this is just random speculation. Either way, these new agents will likely cause a significant pullback in the current agent prices. People want to sell, they want to take their profits and shift the money into new agents, and this is just a normal, natural market cycle. And you can even look at this as an opportunity to go and buy these other cheap agents that you do like from the original releases. Now, looking a little more closely at the risk, I will say that when you look at the price run up in October from all the agents across the index, it does seem very clear that there's manipulation. There's definitely hoarders buying a ton of these, dumping a ton of these, and you could call it manipulation. So in the agent market, you want to be really careful if you're going to make investments. It's clear that people are buying these up, scooping them up because they're low quantities out there, and they're flipping them whenever they feel the need to. And you can look at the run up in October, and you can look at the pullback today and even say there's an opportunity to buy in again, and I do agree with that. But I do have to mention manipulation could be very sketchy in this sort of environment, so don't go too crazy. So obviously, as we talked about, a new update can have a ripple effect on the price and demand for the current agents. So for example, you look at the Getaway Sally. This one has incredible demand, and one of the reasons for that is because she has a white sleeve that's visible when you're playing in first person. So when you're flipping out your Doppler, you're playing with your knife or whatever, you see this white sleeve, and you can do sort of color coding and matching with it. Kind of sounds funny. So basically, if Valve goes ahead and adds another white sleeve or even better looking variation of this, Getaway Sally's demand could start to flow out. This agent can kind of be obsolete, and these newer agents with better sleeves or better watches or better tattoos or better skin coats or whatever matches your kind of style or preference can definitely be an update that can work against your investment. So I would say in the current moment that the market doesn't have enough of these agents really to supply everyone, so the quantities remain low. So I do see a bullish kind of tendency there, but you got to watch out. If they add a new sleeve, they add a new tattoo that is way better than the current agents we currently have, I would not be surprised to see a lot of the people flowing their money out of these current agents and into the new ones, obviously because they have what would be better designs or better application into the game. Before I go over CSGO Float and we look at these agents one by one, I want to know, is there any agents that you guys are looking at? Are you investing into the agent market currently, or are you going to pick up anytime soon? Let me know. All right, so going over CSGO Float here, we're going to scroll down and take a look at some of these agents that I got in my inventory. First one here, we got Ava. I just want to show you guys on here the basic pullback that we have seen in October. So in October, we had a huge rally on the agent market all across the board, and we have now seen what is a decent little pullback here. And if you go to the other ones, there's plenty of the same pattern. This one's not as bad at all. October, you had a bit of a run up here. Some of these were selling for about 10 bucks each Canadian, and was going for around 18, I'd say, Canadian. Pulled back. Now we're back to that $11-12 region. Same with Arno, the overgrown. October had a little bit of a run up, not too crazy, and we're back to the $10 region. This one in particular, the B Squadron Officer SAS, had a crazy run up in October to around $28 Canadian. So this one here would be one I would be eyeing for a possible run up again. I do think for one of the blue agents, this one has those green eyes. The emeralds look great in CS2. I think this is kind of a low-key investment at the moment. Now, there isn't a lot of agents to go around. There are some better agents obviously than this guy, but this previous price action and the current point could be manipulation, but it also presents a really good opportunity in my opinion. It's like a Bohaz. October had a bit of a run up, pulled back pretty. Same with Street Soldier. This is another one that had a huge rally in October, pulled back pretty hard, around $10 region again. Operator FBI SWAT, this guy here didn't really move too high in October, had a little bit of activity, but has stayed relatively on the same trend here. Now Michael Cyphers is another one I really do like, had a nice run up in October, pulled back to that $7-8 region. I did start to see earlier this week this started running up again. Now I was going to make my video sooner, but obviously Michael Cyphers is on the run, FBI sniper. I think it's going to be an attractive investment going forward. I do think that a lot of people like Michael Cyphers, so we'll keep an eye on him. I already have him in my inventory, obviously. Same with Slingshot Phoenix, had a huge run up in October, went up to $15 Canadian, pulled back to around $7-8 Canadian now. Another one that's low-key, not a crazy looking operator, but I do think that with the previous price action, I could see another return up there. Ground Rebel Elite Crew, a little bit of a run up, decent pullback just like most other charts. Osiris Elite Crew had a decent run up as well, nothing too crazy. And now the 2x McCoy. So these guys also had a nice little run up in October. Absolutely insane, this price action. And followed a nice pullback around $6-7 Canadian and is slowly creeping up again. Now this is another one I do like going forward. These are two pinks here that have had some of the same sort of patterns on their graphs and same price trends. I do like these two going forward. Obviously they're in my inventory. You have the Black Wolf Saber. This guy here is kind of low-key. I think he looks badass in the game. I don't know why more people don't rock badass. Saber Boy, he had a pullback as well, and I do think he'll continue to do well going forward. We have Rezan the Ready Saber. This guy also looks badass. Had a nice run up October, pulled back heavy, $5-6. My thing with these, if you bought like 3 or 4 of these for $20 in, let's say, and held them, and they ran back up to $12-15, pushed to new all-time highs, I could definitely see you tripling or 4 times your money in just a matter of a year or two. That's assuming Valve doesn't go too crazy and releases those new agents that people have speculated to come in. Buckshot, this is another kind of low-key one, not a ton of price action, wouldn't really recommend Buckshot. Another pink here, we have Shamet Elite Crew. Crazy run up October, $8. Now we're going down to the $4 region. This is another one I like going forward. You have Maximus Saber here, solid run up October, typical pattern, pulled back. I do like this guy, nothing too crazy going on with his design or style, but it is in my inventory. I do like him. Enforcer Phoenix, I really like Enforcer Phoenix. I don't know why people don't like these default looking agents, but I do think they look pretty cool in my opinion. So this one had an awesome run up. I just think that these are low key. They're not very expensive at the moment. They already had a decent run up, and I think that pattern or that trend can return sometime soon. I do like these guys going forward as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the low tier agents. I have just only a few in my inventory. I just bought low tier ones for cheap when I saw them, and they're slowly creeping up again, which is nice to see. But for most people, they want to know about the Darryls. So let's go take a look at the Darryls now. So I'll give you my genuine thoughts with all the Sir Bloodies or the Darryls, whatever people call them. Obviously, I don't own any at the moment. If I had to buy one, it would be probably one of these cheaper ones, to be honest. One of these like 30, 40 US dollar ones. But obviously, all across the board, the Darryls have been extremely strong. Let's look at the heavy hitter here. We have the Miami. This Darryl obviously has that same trend. These guys all ran up in October and pulled back pretty hard, but as you can see, the buy or sell action has been pretty strong. There hasn't been too hard of a sell-off, so you have seen the price retain pretty significantly on these Darryls here. Let's take a look at another one. Take a look at the Silent Darryl. This one's a bit cheaper, obviously. This one has that run up, 58 Canadian dollars, pulled back to around 37 Canadian. Still pretty strong, but the pullback is more significant here. I do like this guy. I think he has that watch. He has that black sort of, I think all neutral colors, dark black will always look good People always go for those, especially those guys that got Knox. They might like this this guy as well. Let's take a look at the other Darryl. You got Sir Darryl Royale. This one's also really cool. You got that gold watch, which I can see doing very good going forward. I see a lot of people maybe wanting that down the line. Now this one's had a really tough pullback. Probably actually the same percentage as the last one we looked at, but almost $90 Canadian in October, pulling back to this $50 region. I think you could start to see a bounce here. I don't know how this trend is going to play out, but I do think the sell-off is majority over, and if you wanted to buy one of these top tier agents and you've sort of been sitting on your hands, now may not be the worst time. I could see it going too far lower depending on what Valve throws at this. Obviously, do your research. I'm just here to kind of explore these guys with you and give my insight. Now looking at the other Darryls, we have Loudmouth Darryl. I like this guy a lot too. Got that classic red and that scream sort of face. What do you call that? Oh man, I'm blanking out. So this one here also has that typical trend in October, that agent market run up, going up to, let's see, will it load for me? Yeah, at around 130 Canadian this thing ran up to. Pulled back, it's around $80-90 now Canadian. I like this one a lot. I think I might have to pick one of these up someday. Obviously, you got a couple tattoos. You got the watch and just a really cool aesthetic, not gonna lie. You got the Skullhead Darryl. This one here is also at a pretty good price point right now. Have your typical October run up, pull back. You're looking around 40 bucks Canadian today from the top of 70 Canadian. Like I said, this one also has that gold watch. It depends what you're going for. Do you like this kind of style black mask? Do you like the Scream mask? Do you like the Miami mask? It really depends on what you're going for, but if you're talking about investments, I would say you want to have play skins or agents you can actually use. All these are really nice you can use in game, and if you look at the price trends, you're not at a bad point of picking up. A bad point of picking up these would be around here. A good time to pick these up would be around here. So that's generally why I'm making this video now, because I do think the overall agent market from low tier to mid tier to high tier presents plenty of opportunities as investments going forward, and plenty of opportunities for players to pick up these nice agents on the low and continue using them while they increase in price in the future. But yeah, all these I think are going to continue to do very well. You also got Darryl the Strapped. This one here, don't like this one as much as some of the other ones, but I mean the mask is really not very nice in my opinion. It's kind of ugly, but this one here, same trend. It's 60 bucks Canadian at that highs in October. We're looking at around half there, 35, 37 Canadian today. Now, I will say this is including the Darryls. It should follow that same trajectory, continue to do well. But if I had to pick a Darryl, this would probably be the bottom of my my picks. Then we also got number K. This one here I love a lot. This is such a sweet looking agent in my opinion. Also had a nice run up, $83 Canadian. Right down here to that $60 Canadian area. This one I could see continuing to go well. He's becoming a poster boy for CS2. So, I mean, the number K definitely has to be a tier 1 in my opinion. I'd actually put this over the Darryls, but maybe not the Miami Darryl, but this is definitely one we got to mention. And I would keep my eye on this one for sure. Now let's take a quick look at Getaway Sally. This is a top tier agent. Obviously it's a female agent. All female agents are going to do well. It's something that a lot of investors across the board have agreed on. I think there's not a ton of supply of them either. Agent Sally has been the strongest graph all across the board. She has cool in-game comms. She has the white sleeves, which is the biggest demand for her. She makes some of the best setups and the best pictures for people's screenshots and whatnot when they're looking at their skins. So I would say if you don't have a Getaway Sally, you cannot go wrong. She hasn't seen too much of a dump in price, and I think she'll continue doing strong, assuming they don't screw her and bring in new white sleeves. That would be quite the thing to do. We'll keep an eye on that. Let me know what you guys think on all of this. These are just some of the agents I'm looking at. Obviously there's a ton to go through. I can't go through every single one in a video. Maybe if I do get into the live streaming stuff, I will kind of break these down one by one again. I just want to give you my overall insight, lay out some risk, give my outlook going forward on the agent markets. I like them a lot. I'm slowly buying into the cheaper ones, and now I'm going to slowly add into the more expensive higher tier agents as well. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.